Going to be Oasis. We're going to be seeing a little bit of a control map action. Coming up after that will be obviously Eichenwald and Horizon, but for now, Oasis, an interesting map. It has a variety of different stages where you see a lot of different compositions, sometimes at least, when it comes to the university section at least, you know, it's very narrow chokeholds. See a lot of Reinhardt compositions, not that we haven't been seeing them to begin with anyway.
Yeah, you've got to feel like Ryan Orisa, fantastic on university, but once you get over to that city center with its high ground, that's where you would be expecting the Reinhardt Diva to be the tank line of choice. And when you look at the Dallas Fuel and the fact that they're running Gamsu and Trill, how are they going to cope with that? What strategies have they prepared for this map in particular? It's a rough task for Dallas. They have the home team behind them, but the defending champions in front of them. Let's see how they survive.
Well, they're going to need the home crowd behind them as the seventh man. They want to be going head-to-head against the San Francisco Shock. Let's see if they've got it in them as we head into map one between the San Francisco Shock and the Dallas Fuel. Preliminary compositions that we're seeing so far. You can see the San Francisco Shock going to be running with the Rhine Diva, the Dallas Fuel with the Rhine Orisa compositions. Early rotation around onto the point.
I like this from Dallas. They need to find an opportunity to close the gap quickly, though. They don't really want to be using the Orisa shield or the Immortality field until they're in the team fight. But San Francisco Shock's composition has more mobility, and they've set up on the high ground. This makes it really hard for Dallas.
Look at them waiting right now, presumably for the speed boost cooldown. The Ice Wall comes out, doesn't really catch too many of the players, and Dallas are able to circumvent it pretty naturally. See them brawling now onto the point. Trill's going to get frozen up. That's going to force out the Immortality field, and Super will be the first one to fall. Instantly traded out, however, as the K will go down. It's going to be the 1-for-1. Architect halted up the high ground, and immediately Dallas are going to be pouncing onto him, but Striker capitalizes into the backline. Doha falls. Still anyone's game. Trill from downtown with the pin. Takes out Striker, and still no one has unlocked the point. It is an absolute brawl that's taking place here in the corridors, but it looks like the San Francisco Shock come out on top.
Sinatraa with the tactical crouch on Gamsu in front of the home crowd. That is rude, the disrespect coming out early from this guy. I like the way, though, that the Shock set up there. JJoNak and Striker going for flanks when Dallas Fuel were occupying the point. It's a very different style you're seeing from both of these teams. Dallas just want to brawl, they want to run into them, but San Francisco Shock are going to look for flanks and individual picks.
High noon now from Striker. Let's see if he can unleash it, and he finds Trill. The shield breaks just in the nick of time. They lose another one, and with that, the push is going to be dead in the water, or is it? Decay, a little bit nasty, hits up 2 kills. Nanabu's having to be used here. Onto Choi Hyobin just to keep him alive. Shock are going to be in control of the point, but Decay made that a little bit messy for them.
He certainly did. Blizzards are going to come up for both teams here as well, so take a look at Choi Hyobin. See if he's able to eat this. He's normally been fantastic at being able to negate those ults.
Decay onto the low ground. See if he can hit those shots, try and get a kill or two. You can now see him rotating around. The Blizzard comes out early along with the South Destruct Shock, trying to take the advantage here. It's going to be the 1-for-1 trade. Earthshatter by Super. Doesn't actually connect onto many targets, only onto Doha.
But the Earthshatter from Super stopped the Blizzard coming out from Doha, so that Blizzard just totally negated.
Unbelievable plays, and Doha follows up with the kill onto Sinatraa of his own, however. You're going to still see this. Look at this Decay with the supercharge. He's able to cap the point out, and it doesn't matter if Choi tries to stall it out on the Wrecking Ball. The Dallas Fuel are able to recap the point.
Really nice play from Dallas to be able to turn that fight around, even without the Blizzard. Decay just popping off, as we know that he can on that McCree. So much raw skill, and this is where Dallas Fuel's team composition should be favored. Now that they're in control of the point, and they can choose when to use that speed boost, when to engage.
We can see them now on the high ground, and Trill's got this Earthshatter ready and waiting, jumping down, trying to engage into them, seeing if they can get a pick or two. Gonna get frozen up though, and immediately brought down. The post bombs just added on top, a little bit overkill. Nanabu's now gonna be committed as well by the San Francisco Shock. Super with the fire strike, ends up taking out Decay, but frozen in his tracks once more. Sinatraa ends up switching over to the Doomfist to try and get back into the fight, but the Shock are not giving up just yet. The pick onto Doha is gonna make it a little bit easier for them now. Closer trying to utilize the amplification matrix, but Sinatraa comes in from the back lines. Immediately takes out Crimzo and Gamsu. And Closer realizes it's time to get out of there.
Oh, just doesn't manage to escape sinatraa, the 2019 MVP, back on Doomfist, where he's really able to make an impact. Picks up 3 in that fight. They're at 90% now, only 10 seconds, and Dallas Fuel are just going to have to force a fight in the dying moments of this round. San Francisco, they could maybe clutch with an Earth Shatter coming out from Super, but you've got to give Dallas the edge if they're actually able to get into position.
Striker's in the back line, he has a pulse bomb, he's ready, he's waiting, he's praying. The Earth Shatter is going to be unleashed. Super still holding on to his, we'll see it, but it looks like the Shock are absolutely decimating Striker with 2 kills, and that is going to seal the deal for round number 1 in Oasis.
The crowd makes their opinions heard, but honestly, the Dallas Fuel had some fighting chances in that round, and that's what you want to see from them. The San Francisco Shock are such a formidable opponent that if Dallas can just slowly get into this match, get their teeth in, they might be able to find some kind of advantage. But you start slow, you win a couple team fights, you try and take a map, you try and take a round on Oasis to start with, and they're by no means out of it yet. There were certainly some high points there, particularly from Decay early on in the round.
This is certainly a very different Dallas Fuel than what we've seen in the last 2 years.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
A roster that's been upgraded in many ways.
They finally have a Genji and a Tracer player.
Absolutely. AKM doesn't really have to fill in for the Genji role anymore.
Here we go, though. Dallas Fuel and San Francisco Shock clashing. And this is where you would want the Reinhardt Orisa composition from Dallas. They take the high ground.
Oh, we'll see what they can do now. San Francisco Shock opting to just take the point down. Super going to be getting some value out of that fire strike. Connecting onto 2 targets. Waiting for the Dallas Fuel to try and initiate. Remember, the point's going to unlock, and now it's go time. The Dallas Fuel, they press the button, immediately initiating, trying to find a singular target. Decay caught out of position, but the Immortality Field will keep him alive. Now just waiting, seeing if they can find an opportunity to try and pick off one of these players, but it looks like the Shock have realized they caught Decay out of position. They bring him down. It's a brawl in the pits of Oasis. Right now could be anyone's game.
But Dallas Fuel have managed to turn it. They baited people in. They baited them in onto Decay and then crushed them with the tank line. Beautiful play from Dallas Fuel to start out strong on University.
Those are the kind of plays we want to see from the Dallas Fuel. It looked like Decay was just being left high and dry, but they managed to absolutely destroy whatever the Shock were trying to do. And now the crowd's getting into it. You can hear the chants. They are behind them. We'll see if Dallas now have got what it takes to hold on to this point. They have an amplification matrix. Crimzo unleashes it. sinatraa absolutely destroyed immediately. The burst damage far too much. And the Shock are wiped clean off of the point. Few stragglers remain, but they're going to be hightailing it back to the spawn room.
And that's great stuff from Dallas. They win that just off a single ultimate coming out from Crimzo and that very early pick onto sinatraa. Decay's in a position where he might be able to get a little bit of value out of the Deadeye, but they've got to be a little bit concerned about this Earth Shatter from Striker.
Oh! Takes the initiative, he uses the Earth Shatter. Decay, using the Deadeye from the sidelines. He's trying to see if he can pick up a target, and there you go! Super goes down. You lose one of your main tanks, the fight is as good as dead. Choi's going to try and use the defense matrix to peel away for his teammates, but the Shock right now have not been able to get a foot in. But now they're going to be going against sinatraa using the Blizzard. Dallas Fuel answering with their own soundbite. Gamsu using a Fortify. He's frozen up though, and he will be going down. The Shock recognizing they have an opportunity here. Now the Ice Wall. And this is go time for the San Francisco Shock. They're going to try and collapse onto the targets. Trill being frozen up. Taken out eventually. sinatraa finding another one. The San Francisco Shock do end up flipping the point in their favor.
But the Dallas Fuel are perfectly happy with that. Doha does not invest his Blizzard because they know if they win one more fight, they're in a great position to tie up this map. If they come back in and can find a good angle to use the Blizzard, or at least dodge this nano boost that's probably going to come out aggressively onto Super, they can start taking control back.
Nano boost ready. Super's got it. He's speed boosted. He's sound barriered up, and he's running down the members of the Dallas Fuel. Already takes out 1, takes out 2, and 50% to the next Earth Shatter. He's looking for more. Look at him, greedy boy. But the San Francisco Shock are going to be cleaning up the remaining members. And now the Dallas Fuel forced to regroup back.
And this is the next fight that really matters. Decay's sleeping on the job, but don't worry about it. He'll get back on his feet in just a moment. But this fight really matters. If the San Francisco Shock take this, they'll have the ults and they'll have control of the point. But if Dallas get it, the round could be in the bag. all comes down to how they use this Blizzard.
Doa has the Blizzard. He's trying to get the freeze onto Troy Homer, and it's a free Blizzard onto the decks. The Ice Wall goes up. He trapped them in with them. They've already got the picks. The Dallas Fuel absolutely destroy the San Francisco Shock, and they're going to get the recap with 81% and counting. That was the fight they needed to win.
Now Gamsu has his ultimate. The supercharger is going to come online with only 10 seconds left. San Francisco Shock are going to be forced to attack here into the excess damage coming out from Dallas. They need to find early damage though. They can't just sit passively.
Well, the supercharger goes down. That's a lot of extra damage, but it goes down almost as quickly as it was put down. The Blizzard by Sinatraa doesn't find too many targets. Decay and Gamsu going to be frozen up. Striker looking for opportunities on the sideline. I don't believe what I've just seen. The San Francisco Shock have just clutched this.
The San Francisco Shock there, insanely decisive and got big value out of the Blizzard, plus the big Diva Bomb coming out from JJoNak. I really wish the Dallas Fuel had taken a bit more initiative with that. Gone forwards, played aggressive, tried to trap them in the choke point. Now they only have one more opportunity to tie this up. Otherwise, San Francisco take the map.
Super Earth Shadow, he's holding onto it, he's ready and waiting. He's looking for an opportunity to use it now. The Nano Boost being used as well. He's laying in the damage, the charge. He wants to be all the way in the back line. Earth Shadow gets blocked up by Trill here. Opportunity for Dallas to counter-attack. See if they can do it, and Trill hits the Earth Shadow. Super down, Architect down. Dallas Fuel have turned this fight into their favor. And with that recap, this should be their round to win as long as they clean up the remaining players. Great showing by Dallas Fuel, taking the initiative, playing a very reactionary style towards the end.
Fantastic response there from the Fuel. The crowd in here is just elated that they've been able to take a round away from the San Francisco Shock, because it proves that this team is capable of so much more than they managed to achieve in 2018 and 2019. They can go toe-to-toe with some of the best in the league, at least in the short term. Let's see if the Fuel can manage to pull that forwards into a third round and secure the first map, break that map win streak from the San Francisco Shock.
I gotta say, I'm so impressed with Trill as an individual as well. This guy, he comes from the Oceanic region, a region where they don't see much playtime. From Australia, it's hard to get noticed out there, but he comes up into the Overwatch League and
he's been hitting those fatty shatties.
He's really been shining. We'll see now as the team starts to brawl up onto the point, onto the jump pad. The flashbang Decay from on high. Striker did not know what hit him. And this is what we love to see. Decay's McCree has been absolutely phenomenal.
Oh! This guy is unbelievable. Brand new superstar for the Dallas Fuel. There is so much talent on this roster now.
They get the initial cap. It's a very, very good sign. The Dallas Fuel, with the composition they're running, they want to be able to hold on to this with the Orisa, with the Reinhardt, with the Batiste. You have a lot of staying power with this kind of composition. You can see them on the high ground now. The Shock are going to try and answer this by rotating their positioning, playing quite cautiously, trying to play outside of the line of sight. And now they start to contest the point, which forces the Dallas Fuel onto the low ground. We'll see if they can do anything else though. Doa just searching for a stray shot, forced to use his ice block defensively.
Somebody needs to drop down here and help Gamsu. He needs the rest of his team with him, but Trill has been slept.
Decay on the flank though, flashbang comes out, hits off one shot. Can he hit up the second one? He can! Finds two, but meanwhile, the San Francisco Shock were absolutely clearing up the rest of the point.
I want to give Architect great credit for that. He slept Trill, I believe, just as he was about to drop down from the high ground to help Gamsu, and that's a player that we do not expect to be playing the Ana for the San Francisco Shock. He's normally a DPS player, and he's come in and he's already positioned very well, hitting these big sleep darts. We'll see how it progresses throughout the match, but so far, very impressed.
Architect with a nano boost, ready and waiting. Super most likely going to be the recipient of it. Dallas going to be, again, taking the long approach, just trying to play around this line of sight. Fortify used up, and now we see it being used. Sinatraa actually going to be getting the nano boost here. He's in the back lines, trying to shred them a little bit, but he gets taken out by the car. Oh my word! Try and clean that off your windshield. You'll have a hard time of it. Decay ends up opting to use the dead eye here. The Earth Shadow being committed as well by Dallas. This is an opening for them. Charges being exchanged. And this looks like Dallas are going to be able to take this round. Troy Hogan going to be claiming the post-mortem kill there. He will be going down. But Dallas Fuel, a very good sign for them.
A very good sign for them. Great move by Closer to just shove that nano-boosted Tracer straight into the environmental kill. Incredibly unexpected. Was not anticipating Architect to even use the nano-boost onto Sinatraa there. It felt like there were so many better options once they had started the team fight, but they're confident in the individual skill of Sinatraa. It would usually work out, but not that time.
A lot of ultimates now for the Dallas to defend this one. They have 2 support outs almost. Coalescence almost up. We'll see it. Just a minute. That's what they're waiting for here. Self-destruct going to be used now by Troy. Doesn't find any targets, and that's going to force out the Coalescence now. And the Dallas are still holding strong. Crimzo washing down the players of the San Francisco Shock, and they are still in control at this point.
I think at this point, the San Francisco Shock should be thinking about making a composition change. Sinatraa on the Tracer hasn't been able to get much done, and the Dallas Fuel are just upping the tempo, playing aggressive, and smashing into the front line before he can do much. With the Pulse Bomb available, though, there is still opportunity to clutch.
Potentially last fight territory right now. Toa with the Blizzard, the soundbar used to initiate. Dallas wants to end this right here, right now. The Shock forced to use their soundbar. Now comes out the Blizzard. They freeze up Super, unable to take him out. The defense matrix from Troy is perfect, but eventually a couple of quick punches will do it. And the Dallas Fuel are so close to taking map 1 against the San Francisco Shock. Decay now on the flank, but Striker, a quick 90-degree slow by. What is that? Again? I don't believe this. Striker finds 2 kills out of nowhere with the nano boost. Crimzo desperately trying to hold on to it with the Coalescence.
I thought they were done. The crowd thought they were done. Dallas Fuel, they were so close. But the San Francisco Shock are a clutch team like no other. And at the moment, they're making Dallas Fuel pay for every single inch of this capture time.
I don't believe what I've just witnessed. In that scenario, to choose to use the nano boost on the Striker, to hit the headshot just off on the flank. That immediately turned the fight around.
That's the kind of play that keeps San Francisco at the top. Even when all looks lost, they're straight back in it. But do not forget, Dallas Fuel are 1 fight away from winning this first map.
Doa moves over to a role that he's very confident on, but they know it. They pre-fired a corner. Troy, a little bit too smart for it. He knows the angles of which he's going to be playing. Trill, he has the Earth Shatter. Gonna try and get value out of it. He's gonna try and force them. Sinatraa ends up winning the 1v1 against Doa. He hunts him down. Now he's got eyes. Huge Earth Shatter from Super. My God. And the Dallas Fuel have absolutely crumbled. The San Francisco Shock are gonna take map number 1 in the blink of an eye.
It's a heartbreaker for any Dallas Fuel fan. Inches away. Inches away, but the San Francisco Shock is too clutch. What do you do when Striker and Sinatraa are playing like that on their DPS heroes of choice?
Unbelievable. Here's the replay that we just want to see here of the shatter coming out from Super. Unbelievable stuff. And I gotta say, the San Francisco Shock, it feels like they haven't taken a day off.
It really doesn't. I mean, this team is still as clutch as ever. They don't look as tight, as coordinated, as practiced with the meta at the moment. But if you're the Dallas Fuel, you take a silver line in here. You were so close to taking that first map.
Well, with that being said, we've got more Overwatch coming up. Can the Dallas Fuel take away another map from the San Francisco Shock? We will see you on the other side. Chills every time. Welcome back, everybody, to the San Francisco Shock versus the Dallas Fuel. We're here. Currently, the San Francisco Shock are leading in 1 match, but it's up to this home crowd to see if they can boost up the Dallas Fuel and help them take back a match or 2 and try and win this series overall.
Yeah, I don't think that the Dallas Fuel should be feeling bad about that whatsoever. From what we've been hearing behind the scenes, the San Francisco Shock are still absolutely at the top in terms of scrim results and how people have been practicing in the off-season. The San Francisco Shock are still considered the de facto #1 team, and the Dallas Fuel nearly tuck. They were inches away from nearly taking that first map away from them. So that is that is food for thought.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
Dallas
it's-
Fuel have got enough talent here to be able to take down the Shock. As Aero, the head coach of the Fuel, keeps telling me, any given Sunday, on any day, if the Fuel have a little bit of an overperformance, they could beat the best in the league.
And I certainly believe it after seeing that. And one of the big things to consider now with the Dallas Fuel is how are they going to pick themselves up after this. But we are going to be going to Eichenwald as the next map. Personal favorite of mine. Eichenwald. Can't really say it too much in a German accent, but I try.
You shouldn't even bother, otherwise you'll offend all the Germans.
It's true. All these Germans in Texas. You know.
Eichenwald's a really interesting map. It's something that where we've seen a lot of different team compositions being played over the years. We've seen quite a bit of the brawly kind of style, but also Farah has been played a lot historically. Not expecting to see that come out here though. A lot of the Mei and a lot of the McCree. Now, you might think that a Trill move over to substitute in a Diva player to bring in Note might have been on the table. Instead, they've stuck with that tank line.
We'll see now what the Dallas have got up their sleeves as the San Francisco Shock are going to start to roll out here. Pretty standard composition. They're going to be running the Reinhardt and the Diva super on the Reinhardt. We'll see them immediately. They got sleep from Architect, and that sets them up to take out Trill. That may have just cracked open this point straight away. Dallas Fuel forced to back off immediately away from the point. They have to play passive.
What a crazy play from Architect to just open that up immediately. He cracked it open without any kind of effort.
Oh my word, and it's all gone wrong right now for Dallas. They tried to re-engage, but Moth was there with the boop. He just pushed them all back. And Gamsu just a little bit too late with a fortify, couldn't actually get onto the point. And that is a very rapid takeover for the San Francisco Shock.
There's nothing to take away there from the Fuel as well. No mistakes that you can try and change. It's just take it out of your mind and go to the next one. Take a look at Moth here. Look at Moth. Great boot from him from the low ground, keeps everyone off the point. Just two clutch plays coming out from the San Francisco Shock support line, the best in the league. And that's it, point A.
Well, Trill drops down to try and engage here. Sinatra's on the high ground behind. The Striker is causing havoc on the flank here. Decay looks to try and see if he can take a move of his own right now, waiting for Sinatraa to use his recall here, but the Shock have absolutely rolled over the front line. Dallas Fuel didn't know what hit them, and they go edging ever closer right now to the finish line, it feels like.
Well, Dallas has got some ultimates up now, though. They can start working towards this. They've changed over their support line. Crimzo and Closer are nowhere near their ultimates, but at least the other people are starting to take up. The San Francisco Shock, though, 4 ults on the board and Moth getting close to his. The sleep darts are all over the place here from Architect.
Architect's trying his best Twilight impression is what it feels like, but
rotating up on the high ground, that'll give Decay a great angle for this Deadeye.
and this could be clever right now. Choi is going to be playing right now, tries to do for the 180, but not good enough. Choi ends up using his self-destruct, but too little too late. The Dallas Fuel have taken this point by storm. Wonderful setup by Decay. Sinatraa going to be taking the 1v1 here. Decay just misses his flashbang, but it doesn't matter anyway because the Dallas Fuel are going to be happy with just retaking and stopping the cart there.
I want to give great credit to Closer there because he booped back JJoNak and stopped JJoNak getting in the face of Decay. That boop, so crucial because it stops JJoNak being able to smother the Deadeye, and Decay gets off the kill on Striker and the demech on JJoNak.
And look at this now, they're setting up for a brawl on the high ground. Super's on the low ground, and immediately the call has been made. They all want to jump and collapse onto Super. Striker uses the Deadeye but finds no targets, but the flashbang found the hammer. No one expects that, no one at all. Let's see if he can try and win the 1v1 now against Close. It's so close, but not quite good enough for the Dallas Fuel here, despite the fact that they end up winning that one. The San Francisco Shock are going to be able to finish this one all the way into the second checkpoint. 5 minutes in terms of their time bank. That is an astonishing amount that they have to work with.
It really is. I mean, for the Dallas Fuel, the good part is that this is where their composition thrives the most, and they have the tank ultimates needed, and the support ults are just about to come up to be able to stall the San Francisco Shock. But if the momentum keeps going, they're in a bad place.
Well, we see this, look at this, Dallas taking the initiative, they use the Coalescence, they use the Supercharger, they layer the ultimates on top of one another, and they force the San Francisco Shock away from the choke point. Much needed aggression.
Yeah, this is a lot of aggression though. Dallas rightly backing up here. They don't want to overextend. Sinatraa has now made the swap over to the Doomfist, trying to play a hero that has a lot of carry potential, clutch potential. See if he can get a pick with it early on.
Trill now waiting with the Earth Shatter. The Ice Walls is going to separate a lot of the San Francisco Shock here. No kill potential as of yet though, but sinatraa falls and Super follows suit. They don't really need to use or expend any ultimates here. If they can get a couple of straggler kills, it'll be beautiful for the Dallas.
Yeah, they've managed to delay a lot, and I love the way that Dallas are playing this. Play aggressive in the choke point, use the walls to isolate people, and get Trill right up in their face. They're using the Moira so they don't have that nano boost, which you would normally expect to see come out. Doha, another sleep from Architect.
Yeah, Doha sleeping on the job, he gets woken up. And now we see the nano being used here. sinatraa in the background. Look at this, he dodges the Earth Strike. Doesn't quite find too many other targets, but that's okay because the San Francisco Shock are there to clean them up. And look at the damage that's being pumped into them. Doha's just trying to stagger and stall out this point for as long as he can, but unfortunately there's not much he can do against the rocket punch. It's quite literally a fist made out of metal.
Especially when it's nano boosted, that is a scary combo. But Dallas have still got time. This very small enclosed area is going to give them a lot of value for Doha. And the San Francisco Shock do not have a Lucio to speed boost away. So Dallas should be able to get a bit more value. Both teams now swapping over to Brigitte, not valuing that speed boost at all.
A lot going to be now on Trill and GamSu to try and block this Earth Shadow. From Super, huge Bionade from Architect has set them up for the kill. Decay goes down, Choice Bomb kills Doha. This is a disaster for Dallas Fuel right now. And Super nails the Earth Shatter, clearing them all off the point. Only a few members remain for the Dallas Fuel. And it's not going to be enough. Unfortunately, one last ditch Death Blossom. Doha comes in from the side. But the San Francisco Shock are going to clinch it out, capping all the way with 2 minutes and 22 seconds.
An incredibly respectable time there from the defending champions. They stormed through Eichenwald. Super, I guess that was swinging his hammer around. Don't know quite what he was up to there.
An unreal performance, but the Shock definitely looking beatable as it stands. It's been the Dallas Homestand Series presented by Frontier, and we will see you on the other side of the break. That's right, tickets are still available for the Washington Homestand coming up in week 3. You can see the 22nd to the 23rd in Washington, D.C. Go see Corey, Stratus, the rest of the gang. You can visit justice.overwatchleague.com for more information on the tickets. And also, you will see me and Josh as well, because we're going to be casting that event.
That is very true, but at the moment we are covering this incredible clash. It's been very interesting so far. That attack round on Eichenwald from the San Francisco Shock was majorly in part to a lot of individual skill. If you think about it, Architect comes out with a big play at the beginning and sleeps Trill, and then closer with the Boo. 2 big plays from their supports, open up point A. They muscle it through with Striker and sinatraa all the way through point B. And then sinatraa just clutches with a ridiculous nano-boosted Doomfist at the end.
Yeah.
They're really riding a lot of that individual talent and pop-off moments in order to succeed. It is a bit of a different look for the Shock. This team last year was very much about phenomenal teamwork, a great understanding of the meta. Now they're flexing a little bit.
They've always had it there. It's always been hidden behind the teamwork, if you will. They've never really needed to flex the individual mechanics because they've always had the teamwork. It's always been there for them. But now it's time for the Dallas Fuel to flex and see if they can match or potentially get a better time than the San Francisco Shock here.
Hey, we saw it in the Valiant versus Vancouver game. One lightning fast offense deserves another.
Well, early Bionade is going to force Dallas to come to a stop for the time being. Another sleep dart to GamSu. He takes damage though, he's going to end up waking up. Architect has been nailing these sleeps, and Decay is going to be searching for an off angle. See if he can get a kill or 2 right now. And there's the go button, the aggression being pressed, the speed boost used now by the Dallas Fuel. We'll see if he can pick off any players whatsoever. There you go, Decay finds the opening, he finds a second, and now he's going to be looking for the 3rd. But he's got the rest of the Dallas Fuel to help him out with that one. The Hulk just yoinking them back to the point. And the Dallas Fuel with a speedy capture of this first point.
Textbook play of how to play that Rhino-Rissa composition. They managed to get in without too much damage being taken. Trill goes aggressive with GamSu, takes that immortality field so that he doesn't die, and Doha with the perfect ice wall to separate the Shock. sinatraa again going over to a hero he can clutch with instead of the Mei.
The Decay now has a bit to work with, so does Crimzo, but look at this, Sinatra's in the back line already. They force out the Immortality Field and the Amplification Matrix. Decay using his Deadeye, and he just catches Super. Right on the flank, the flashbang from Decay. Just about catches the foot of Moth, pumping in a ton of damage. Striker, though, moves his way into the back line, but a bit of a, I guess, you know, a worthwhile attempt, I guess. He knew the fight was over to try and get another pick towards the tail end, but beautiful stuff from Dallas so far, I've got to say. The fact that they're taking the initiative, using the ults while... Bit of a mistake from the San Francisco Shock as well, Super peeking around the corner.
Yep, definitely peeking into the Deadeye, not how you would like to see him play. The Dallas Fuel are fighting for this high ground. It's really important that JJoNak has gone to contest the card. Are they going to fight JJoNak or are they going to fight San Francisco?
Well, bit of a problematic scenario, and Anabus gets unleashed. Let's see what they can do with it. The San Francisco Shock. Sinatraa going to be using the Meteor Strike in close quarters, but stunned up immediately. The 1-for-1 trade. Architect going to end up taking down Decay with a biotic grenade. Dallas still holding in this little cubby hole. And now they're opting to push out. They will use the supercharger, play a bit aggressive, and Architect will fall. This is beautiful so far. Let's see what else they can do. Soundbire committed by the Shock. They want to try and fight this. They feel like they can clutch this, but Super falls so low. And as this was happening, Sinatraa was absolutely ripping apart the back line. Still anyone's game, but it feels like the Shock have the edge so far.
It really is anybody's game. It's going to come down to both of these McCree players, I feel. JJoNak's getting slowly pressured out, backing out with Striker. The San Francisco Shock, they're going to retreat, give a little bit of room and see Sinatraa coming behind. Goes for a cheeky play, but is forced to retreat again.
The mechanics from that. No time to react when the seismic slam comes down from the high ground.
Great block from Trill.
Wonderful block from Trill. The Earth Shatter gets no value, and he answers back. The Fire Strike takes down Striker. Decay up in the flank. JJoNak tries to peel for him, but he's no match for the Peacekeeper. The Dallas are going to keep pushing this cart all the way into the second checkpoint. If they get a kill on the Super, it's even better. Another wonderful stagger kill.
Yeah, that's fantastic. The San Francisco Shock now have no opportunity to recontest this. They're still going to go for it, but surely the Deadeye, the Blizzard, the Dallas Fuel are just going to be able to pick up these kills.
Troy immediately goes down. He's demeched. Decay is obliterating from afar. This bridge is his territory, but another sleep dart from Architect will take him out of the action, at least temporarily, while the rest of the Dallas Fuel are able to clean up the stragglers that remain on the point. And the Dallas Fuel, look at this, 4 minutes on the clock.
One lightning-fast offense seems to deserve another. The attacking teams are so favored at the moment. Hello, Sinatraa, going for a cheeky play, but forced to back off as Trill scouts it out. That Dallas didn't use their Blizzard in that fight. That's going to be huge. JJoNak making the swap onto the Sigma. Is he hoping to eat the Blizzard, apply poke? What is this change?
Very interesting, though. We'll see what happens now. As you can see, Crimzo uses the Coalescence to try to keep the rest of the Dallas Fuel, trying to sustain them. Sinatraa forced to use his Meteor Strike to back off, try and survive a little bit. Remember, the San Francisco Shock, they have the superior spawn advantage. The longer this fight goes, the better it is for them. And this is going to be the exit button right now for the Dallas Fuel. They realize the jig is up, we've got to get out of here, reset, recoup our losses.
Yeah, Doha really didn't get anything out of the Blizzard, unfortunately. San Francisco, you can see how good they are. The top team experience coming through when they face big ultimates like that. It hits an area, but Shock know it's coming and have already positioned themselves to avoid it. It's rare that you see multiple people get caught in a Blizzard.
Architect off on the angles right now. Nanoboost comes out. Sinatraa, the collapse is happening. The charge from Super. The San Francisco Shock gonna handedly win this fight, only using a single ultimate in the process.
Architect has been impressing me so much with the way he's able to take these angles, hit big bionates at the same time as utilizing the nanoboost on the perfect target. He's played an amazing game so far. And look at Dallas making this big, wide rotation. I think they know that Sinatra's above them. Do they?
They don't know, Josh! He comes in with a punch, but Young backs almost immediately to halt his clutch. The Shock realize they have to take the initiative here, otherwise they will be losing it, and they do just that. Striker jumped into the back line, used the Death Blossom, and cleared out the remaining members of the Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, nice awareness from Gamsu, but they just ran into a slaughter there. Dallas have got to get a plan going. Half of their time has already been elapsed on point C. They will not set that kind of amazing time that San Francisco Shock did. And this time, they're going to be going into a Meteor Strike and the gravitic flux coming out from Saebyeolbe.
Either Super is 12 years old or he's 5 feet away from his PC, but you can see now that San Francisco Shock trying to defend Choi. He has the gravitic flux, he's going to unleash it right now. Connects onto so many targets. The instant soundbite from closer. Trill uses the Earth Shadow but gets absolutely no value out of it. And now Super is running them down. Nice pin comes out from Trill, but it's all for naught. As Super answers back almost immediately with one of his own. And the Shock, oh no. Don't let him get away with that, Dallas. Boo that man.
Dallas Fuel have so many ultimates here. This has to be the push. 1 minute left on the clock. Both DPS ults. They're also going to have the supercharger, which is such an impactful ultimate. If they lead with the coalescence and find a good flank from Decay, they might be able to get it with just the supercharger and Death Blossom. He's so weak though, 40 health.
Yeah, Decay very low. Oh, sleep got that. Architect is absolutely nuts. The sleep to counter the Death Blossom, the bio nade to put him in that scenario in the first place, but it doesn't matter anyway. The Dallas Fuel have crushed it with the supercharger.
They were forced to use the Blizzard as well, but they don't care a jot. Dallas Fuel with 25 seconds left are powering forwards. They've got almost nothing to work with. Trill may be able to clutch if he's able to get a bit more damage for his ult, but otherwise this is just going to be a brawl for the ages.
And we'll see now with the San Francisco Shock, they got all their members back up. The Dallas Fuel going for the loop-de-loop.
I like it.
All the way around, trying to play the high ground. 6 seconds remaining. Super with the Earth Shatter, lays it down, connects it onto only one target. Let's see now what Dallas can do to try and clutch this one. Striker, frozen, taken out. Sinatraa tries to answer back with his own meteor strike. We'll see if he can get the value down. The Ice Wall does not save him, instead delivers him to a quicker defeat. And the San Francisco Shock look like they have successfully defended, and they will be taking map number 2 in this series.
It was close there for a moment. You felt like Dallas might just be able to do it, but San Francisco Shock do not roll over that easily. Architect has had one hell of a game so far. His Ana has been so impressive to empower Striker and Sinatraa and Super.
You definitely feel that these players are the current defending grand champions, but we'll see whether Dallas can bring it back after the break. Get around, I mean, this crowd's going to have to get behind it if that's going to be the case.
I think this crowd is already behind them. They have felt every rise and fall of the potential for Dallas Fuel to win these maps so far. Dallas have been close. They've had their moments. It looked like Dallas were going to win the opening map, but San Francisco Shock have continued to power through and took Eichenwald in a fairly convincing fashion, continuing this big map win streak that they've continued to accrue since last playoffs in 2019. Nobody has taken a map from them since they lost to Atlanta.
Actually astonishing, really, considering the fact as well, Architect over onto the Ana as well as a role. Presumably they've been practicing it for a while. Architect also no stranger to Ana as well, playing that hero in the past, as Wolf was saying on the analyst desk back in LA. But for now, we do have a game to get underway. And I mean, the Dallas Fuel are going to be having to look at themselves and think, you know, what are we doing wrong here? What's going wrong? But unfortunately, it feels like the San Francisco Shock are just coming up clutch in a lot of scenarios with just raw mechanical ability.
Yeah, and you see a couple of the changes here that the San Francisco Shock have actually made. They're going to be moving Rascal in for Sinatraa. That's what most people were anticipating, actually, when we looked at what heroes were available here, because Rascal is so well known for his Mei. He is just the most flexible player possibly that is on the DPS lineup for the San Francisco Shock, and Mei happens to be a perfect hero for him to play. You've also got here Note coming in for the Dallas Fuel, subbing in there, so we're going to be seeing probably a bit of that Reinhardt Diva. So they're moving away from the very brawly style, which I agree with on Horizon Lunar Colony. I think you need the Diva to be able to stop any long-range hit scan players.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of high ground to mitigate as well with the Diva pick. Big fan of Note, especially when he's paired with Gamsu as well. This tank duo, a lot of pre-existing synergy. They're very good. You can see there's Moth as well. This guy, one of the best Western main supports in the game currently, and Doha, of course. Newcomer, new superstar to the Dallas Fuel. He's definitely not been having a bad game.
No, absolutely not. Paired alongside Decay, this is really a DPS duo that can do work for the Fuel. But there's Gamsu, the tank warrior that's going to be paired alongside No, a great leadership figure, both emotionally and in terms of the personal stuff behind the scenes for the Dallas Fuel.
Well, here's our map set as we head into Horizon Lunar Colony. As you said, Josh, a lot of long sight lines, a lot of high ground to be used. That's probably why Dallas have put Note in so that we can see his signature Diva play. But it also opens up room for a lot more different compositions being played. Widowmaker on the first point occasionally. We've seen some teams dabble with Genji every now and then as well.
Yeah, we've seen Dive, we've seen Full, we've seen Doomfist.
I mean, I've been loving it.
Sombra, we've seen Winston. We have seen a huge amount of heroes so far.
Okay. This is interesting though, because what we're seeing right now is Dallas Fuel on the defense. They're going to be running Orisa Diva, so a bit of a bunker composition, but the Diva to try and
this used to be really good. People used to play this all the time. It's a tried and tested product.
Well, we'll see now. Striker plays down the teleport. Oh! There we go!
Anticipated!
That's what we want to see. The Dallas Fuel have read them like a book. And Doha shuts it down almost as fast as the teleporter was set up.
And that's so huge for Dallas, because Doha now has 60% of his ult. Look at this, he knew it. He was looking for it, anticipating it, predicting it.
Oh, this is so good. Straight away, they don't stand a chance. So much AoE damage.
Yeah, really phenomenal stuff.
And now we see the San Francisco Shock going to be resetting, taking the high ground. Gamsu forced onto the low ground, has to use the Fortify. He needs his team to peel for him here. The Shock have just absolutely blitzed their way onto the point.
Doha needs this ultimate charge. He needs to be able to do damage safely so that he can get the tire and turn the fight.
This tire is what they need. It's the game changer. A lot of damage being laid into them.
Striker's so weak.
Striker goes down. Gamsu just about finishes him off. The pin comes out from Super, but it's not enough to save him. And Architect is one man right now in the world. Filthy little fade away there from Doha. You love to see it. Dallas Fuel look to be holding on. Rascal is still in the fight though. The team's going to be able to use the defense matrix there. Troy Hilbin keeping him alive. But now they have the tire. Doha has something to work with.
He certainly does. San Francisco Shock are usually excellent at being able to do stuff like take down the tires. Striker gets caught out again though. Oh, he failed! He's failed his little bunny hop away, but the peel is great.
Bill was fantastic there with the defense matrix, and now we see the rip tire going to work. Collects onto Rascal. It's going to be the one-for-one trade. In the end, now we see Super caught out of position. He's going to Bionade. The Nano Boost used on him, but he didn't get a heal from it. And Decay takes him out with the headshot.
Incredibly powerful Bionade coming out from Crimzo, totally negating what Architect was going for. And now, silence.
Good space, yeah, absolutely.
The Dallas Fuel crowd are never going to let us listen to silence. No chance, not when Fuel are up on the stage.
Striker now opting for a bit of a different pick here. He's going to be running the Sombra, cementing himself into the background, seeing if he can build up his EMP.
I'm not sure how I feel about this when they could have kept the Sinatraa and kept going for these teleport plays with the Blizzard. Now Striker is... He's doing...
My God!
Striker is not having an effect until his EMP is up, and in the meantime, Doha is pulling the Shock apart.
That was beautiful. The Holt into the Bionade. Gamsu and Crimzo coming together there, destroying the San Francisco Shock.
But the Shock are now in a position. Half of their team, at least, is in position, and Rascal can get big value out of this Blizzard.
Closer has it available. Now we see the Earth Shadow used by Super. Closer's shield was up, so he didn't get affected by it, but the K goes down in the background. We've seen this before. The San Francisco Shock are excellent at divide and conquer. Super tries to run them down a little bit here with the hammer, has to back off, play with the rest of his team. Architect is healing them from afar.
Doha's been nano boosted as well. He's going around, he's on a tear.
But look at this, the soundbite by the San Francisco Shock, and Joy with the bomb comes out, takes him out almost as fast as he was on the point there. Super just tries to get any sort of value he can out of the nano boost. He's falling very, very low though. And
Decay back in the Blizzard.
They might be able to clutch this one out. Decay comes out. Collects the kill on the Striker. That's exactly what they needed. They get this D-Mech as well.
It's so good having a Dallas Fuel roster with this kind of firepower on it. They've never really had a player like Decay who can save them from these moments. Now with less than 10 seconds left, Dallas Fuel can still win. Doha's still got his tire.
It's Doha guy right now, but a San Francisco Shock. But Dallas Fuel are fighting right now to keep this series alive. Doha collects the kill onto Rascal. No! Eats it, Blizzard. Unbelievable play so far from the Dallas Fuel. Striker desperately trying to clutch it out. Doha comes in with the tire though, into the back line trying to find a target. Desperately searching, he can't find anyone. Finally gets the D-Mech here onto Troy.
Decay, it's all down to him. He's there with Crimzo. He's getting fully healed. He's got all of that Brigitte armor as well. They're taking him down.
It's burning down. Decay on the Tracer. He's making an absolute mockery of the San Francisco Shock. And the Dallas Fuel will get the full hold. And the crowd are on their feet.
What an enormous situation for the Dallas Fuel to be in. And a fantastic chance here at stopping this map win streak from the Shock.
Well, we will see. Will the Dallas Fuel be able to capture just that little bit of capture point? Maybe a little bit of an inkling that they may. We'll see on the other side of the break. If we were back in the Blizzard Arena in LA, I don't think this same Dallas squad would have been able to get that full hold off.
But that full hold was so good. Doha and Decay, again, they're superstar damage dealers that have been added to the team. The Junkrat play and the Tracer clutches from Decay later on combine together to be fantastic. And now all they need is 58%.
That's
it. It looks like they're starting with Sombra Genji Dive. Doha's favorite hero, his best hero, and one that Decay is amazing at.
We'll see how Dallas tried to set this one up. You can see, look at this, the dive coming out, the hack into the backline. Moth, he can't actually wall ride right now. A lot of damage being put on, a lot of pressure onto the point. Doha forced to translocate away. Gamsu looking for an angle to try and engage.
And this is Gamsu, a note back on their signature heroes as well. They played Winston and D.Va for the Boston Uprising when they had a perfect stage in 2018.
Striker ends up taking up Doha. Good news for the San Francisco Shock. But the Dallas Fuel, all they need is one opening. And all they need to do is build up these ultimates. They're looking for the Dragon Blade, looking for the Nano Boost. The combo would be an absolutely deadly duo.
Yep, Nano Blade with EMP. That is the order of the day. They have 3 minutes to be able to build it up. Doha has been a little slow so far. They've been very good, the San Francisco Shock, at stopping him being able to farm their tanks. He's looking for a hack on JJoNak at the moment.
Look at Choi, though, pre-firing a lot of angles. He's doing that to try and catch Doha. If he can just catch him with one bullet, he'll uncloak him. Doha forced to translocate away. It looks like Dallas, they want to go right now up onto the high ground, taking control of it, pushing Super away. Super with the Bionade. Can't receive healing right now, but backs up to his team. And now Dallas, they want to try and go here.
Architect's so weak, he's been forced to use the Nano Boost early on.
And this is it right now. Striker, though, finds the kill onto Decay, finds the second one onto Doha. Gamsu has the primal. I don't think he's going to be opting to use it. Just going to die with it, and that's perfectly fine. Woo! Rascal, you're kind of nutty, son. I'm not going to lie. You're kind of nutty, but Dallas Fuel, all they're waiting for right now is this war chest of ultimates to come online, the EMP and the Dragon Blade.
And I thought it was a good plan, up until I've seen how slowly Doha has been able to generate his ult. And that's not Doha's fault. He is an amazing Sombra. But the San Francisco Shock, who were forged in the fires of Sombra goats, they know about the deadliness of that hero. And they are pre-firing everywhere.
Yeah, look at it.
There's not a single safe area for Doha to farm his EMP.
Bullets going everywhere.
They may only have one chance at this, Dallas.
Do or die for them right now. They're going to opt to use it right now. Decay comes in with the Dragon Blade. Nano boosted up and Striker. He puts an end to it. The flashbang shuts it down as quickly as he came in. The Deadeye just on top. Closer goes down. The peel is unreal right now for the Shock. They're keeping it up. They're keeping him alive. Gamsu can't do anything as he's brought down as well. The Dallas need to seriously reconsider how they want to attack this.
Striker single-handedly took down that push. The kill on Doha was already in when the Nanoblade happened, and then a perfectly timed flashbang onto Decay takes him out as well. Now they've got Sombra Tracer Dive. It's a similar kind of setup, but not quite as deadly. They finally have this EMP though. Everything, the hopes and dreams of Dallas, they rest on Doha's shoulders.
See if they can do it, Doha. The man to watch. It's very difficult when JJoNak is hunting him down. He gets the hack off.
He got the hack.
He got the hack off onto Troy. That's very good. That's go time right now, Dallas. They're pressing forward onto the point. Now you see the nano boost from Architect being employed. Just trying to peel them away. Only 20 seconds remaining now. Decay hunting for an opportunity, seeing if he can get a pick or two. Doa comes in, EMP is ready, but he uses Translocate to try and get it to the point. A critical error or not. Dallas, they managed to peel for it. They collect the 2 kills. Super goes down, focus the sound barrier, but it's too late. There's no way they're able to hold this right now. Gamsu gets the nano boost off. The overtime is up right now.
Never say never, Bren. Striker's still here.
Striker! Striker, I don't believe what I'm witnessing. There's no way he can clutch this right now. Decay puts it into it. The Dallas Fuel, they just have the finish off Super, and it's within their hands right now. Overtime might be burning, but the Dallas Fuel will take map number 3.
Insane atmosphere within the esports stadium of Arlington. This crowd is on their feet. Dallas Fuel have smashed this map win streak from the San Francisco Shock. No team in the playoffs of 2019 could do it. That entire lower bracket run and the grand finals, the Shock did not drop a single map. But here, the Dallas Fuel did it.
The Dallas Fuel seem to be smelling a bit of a reverse sweep, and so do the crowd here. We'll see if they're able to do it when we come back from the break. Casual little reminder of last year's Dallas homestand, and it was one to remember as well. All largely in due part to the crowd as well. So
yeah, absolutely electric atmosphere there last year, but it's just as loud in here at the moment.
Yeah.
The Dallas Fuel fans have got a team that they can really root for, even against the best in the world. I mean, what a performance there on Horizon.
yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, statistically, I think that might be the Shock's worst map.
It's one of theirs. They're about 50-50 on it.
But at the same time, it's very impressive to even break that map win streak right now that the Shock were holding from last year, and to take a map away from the defending champions and knock their confidence a little bit.
Listen,
that's exactly what Dallas needs.
That's the first step to winning a match. The first step to winning a match is winning a map. Now they're going up onto Havana, which is a really good map for the San Francisco Shock, and not that great a one for the Dallas Fuel, but this is a new Fuel. We've seen that all throughout this match. They're playing differently. They're more flanky. They're able to put more faith in their DPS players, and their DPS players are delivering.
Wow, we've got a couple of substitutions. In fact, we've only got the one substitution to be made. It's Trill who's going to be coming back in exchange for Notes. He's going to be opting to try and play that the Reinhardt Orisa comps most likely. Havana is a classic. You always see a lot of Orisa compositions when it comes to Havana. Kind of suits it with the geometry of the maps to a degree. And Trill has been a player who honestly has been holding his own against a player like Super as well when it comes to the Reinhardt matchups individually on the 1v1s. I mean, how many times have we seen so far throughout this series, at least on Oasis? How close was that map? Imagine what we would have been seeing right now if it was currently Dallas Fuel taking that first Oasis.
Yeah, that would have changed the entire series, but that's not the reality we live in. The Dallas Fuel still have to dig themselves out of this hole. They have an opportunity here. Havana is going to be the map for it. This is the kind of place where you might be able to see Widowmaker getting played as well. They have the San Francisco Shock haven't substituted in Arns, who's their brand new Widowmaker specialist, but Decay is so good at that hero. It's possible that we see him and Striker have a battle at some point.
Yep.
You know the only other team that's actually managed to defeat the San Francisco Shock on Havana?
Who was it, Josh?
It's the other Texan team. It's the Houston Outlaws. So maybe a little bit of a kind omen here for the new Dallas Fuel.
Could be indeed. The San Francisco Shock going to be opting for the Ryan Diva composition and looking at pulling around the corner, but the forward hold here by the Dallas Fuel. San Francisco Shock are aware of it. Aggression is the name of the game. They force out the ice wall early. These cool downs are very important to try and unleash. And look at it. They split out the enemy team. The Dallas are going to be going hyper aggressive into the corner. They bring down Super. Exactly what they were looking for.
Moth beginning on the Brigitte as well, seeing if they can get a bash onto somebody, get a little bit more of that AoE healing as they're all grouped up, just as they come out of the spawn. Dallas know they're eventually going to lose a team fight here, but it's about taking time off the clock.
Yeah, and taking time they have definitely done so far. Taking a lot of damage so far, just spamming, exchanging a lot of damage as it stands. But the San Francisco Shock have exited out of their spawn point, and Super finds the first pick. Though are forced to use the ice block, but to no fruition, ends up going down. And that's going to be the San Francisco Shock finally breaking out of the spawn.
Crimzo a little bit late with that immortality field, just didn't have the right awareness to be able to keep Gamsu up. It was a winnable fight for them because Crimzo also had his ultimate, but that ends up getting expended. Don't worry too much about it though. Batiste gets his ult insanely quickly.
Yeah. Very fast charge rate with the healing and the damage that he puts out.
But you can see Dallas's composition. It's all designed to go very fast, very aggressive into people. They can't do that with Gamsu asleep though.
Architect again with his sleeps, time and time again. I mean, this guy, it's a role that he's not known for, but he's been turning up on. But now Dallas is going to be going for a bit of a wraparound approach. Striker uses the Deadeye. He's going to be trying to force them back here. The Earth Shadow used here by Trill. Can't believe found anyone. The Ice Wall's only getting in the way, and now Super wants to run forward with this nano boost.
But they have no Lucio. They can't speed boost forwards. So the San Francisco Shock just get completely kited.
But I think they're slightly okay with this as well, given the fact that they're getting a lot of free card progress. Now the Blizzard comes out, trapping them away, but the Dallas Fuel are the ones picking up the kills.
You've got to block though. The card is the objective. And Closer flies in at the last moment just to block, but Trill's down on the floor.
Trill down on the deck. Super brings down Crimzo as well. Goes for the charge as well. Held by one. He just pinned him against Gamsu. What in the Lord's name have I just witnessed?
Super with a 4K. He is feeling himself. What a huge play from that guy. The solo shadow onto Trill, comes back in, wipes the floor with the Dallas Fuel. It was nice. It was a little bit cheeky what Dallas were going for, but they weren't quite fast enough to adapt. And here's that replay.
Yeah, look at this from Super. I mean, he goes for the shatter, connects it onto two. Very respectable. A very mechanically skilled player. There's that charge.
Yeah, makes a pancake out of Closer on Gamsu.
Did he get it on Gamsu? Was it like a signpost?
No, it was on Gamsu.
It's just absurd, but Dallas Fuel going to be looking to try and stop the San Francisco Shock in their tracks. Already have a pretty decent point hold so far here. The wall comes up along with the supercharger, and that is so much damage. You cannot stay in the firing line of that. Toy's going to try and bring it down, but just sacrifices his mech and his body. Dallas Fuel, very efficient of them. Only a single ultimate used, and they're able to hold.
Yeah, great aggression from Dallas. That's exactly how you want to play this Reaper May composition. Gamsu is asleep again. Architect is he's the master of lullabies in this match. He is just being able to sleep everybody everywhere. A lot of them not having much impact, but Dallas Fuel are now in a position where they've given up the high ground and are going to have to rotate around.
They moves to the high ground, but he gets whip shot off actually by Moth. But he has the ultimate available. Needs to try and bait out the bash from Moth. He doesn't want to get stunned up out of it. Now he's baited out the bash. It's go time right now. The Blizzard on top. Doha's going to be getting so much value, and they layer it on top. Absolutely destroying the San Francisco Shock. Getting the maximum value that they can out of those ultimates. And if they can get a stagger out of JJoNak, it's happy days.
So many ultimates expended there, though. I think they would have liked to have at least the Earth Shatter to have a chance at clutching the next fight. They've expended both DPS ults plus that Earth Shatter. They only have the Ant Matrix to work with. But they've been very good at just taking neutral engagements. San Francisco are running the Reaper May themselves. They've got to stop JJoNak getting into a good position. A lot of this damage will just be pulled into the D.Va to stop JJoNak getting the high ground. But see if they can D-mech him, push him away.
The amplification matrix was used there, but backed off from the wall. We see Super using the Earth Shadow, doesn't really get any value out of it. The Shock just trying to play really to their own advantage here, and you find that they do get the kill there onto Doha. They bring down the Immortality Field as well. It's a major cooldown down. The Ice Wall goes out, and Rascal just freezing up the opposition, and the Shock are able to just win this without really putting anything into the fight other than the rally coming out from Moth.
Yeah, it was just a nice neutral engagement. They managed to trap Doha on one side and picked him off at the beginning of the fight. Crimzo's Immortality Fields are sometimes a little late, but I think that one actually just got blocked and then taken out of the fight.
Doha's sleeping again. Architect has been nuts with these.
He really has, and it slows down the Dallas Fuel. But the Dallas Fuel wants to play very high tempo. They want to get in your face so fast, and the sleep darts, they just buy time.
Well, Dallas have positioning, and now they're going to be using this supercharger. They're able to win the fight last time, but Big Bomb comes over, Closer goes down. It's a big pickup for them, and Shock are investing everything into this fight to win it. The Nano Boost, the Blizzard, it all gets used. Super gets frozen up at the tail end of it, but at the end of the day, the Shock are going to be able to capture this second point up on Havana.
And I love that ult usage from the San Francisco Shock. Throw everything at the wall because you have to be able to capture point B and get that extra time on the clock. Can't be taking chances for the Dallas Fuel to clutch there. They were so close to their ults. But 2 minutes, this isn't one of those lightning-fast offenses that we've previously seen from the Shock and the Titans.
Oh my word.
Architect is just threading these sleep
I
darts
know.
and bionades through. It's like walls don't exist for him.
It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. But the Dallas Fuel now, they're trying to take a bit of aggression. Another sleep dart to Crimzo. Again, just buying more and more time. The Dallas Fuel, they want to play this aggressive. You can see them going in with the Coalescence now. Crimzo trying to keep his team up. Earthshatter comes out. Doesn't really connect, but Striker wipes them out. Dallas Fuel don't know what hit them here. Taunting on the cart. The San Francisco Shock, I mean, they might be taking the villain title at this rate.
Look at this Striker 3K as well. He's dueling Decay on the flank, manages to push him away, and just finds the perfect opportunity.
Great shatter as well.
Yeah, the same kind of super shatters. It's all about the timing when you play that Reaper. But Dallas can still hold here. 1 minute left on the clock. They should not be allowing the Shock to full complete.
A lot of ultimates. They have the Saebyeolbe, they have the Blizzard, they have the Death Blossom.
Blizzard
Architect forced out of position a little bit here. The Bionade is a little bit nasty for him. Super was peeling on with the shield. Nana Boost comes out. Super going to be trying to get some value out of it as he runs forward. Getting frozen up though by Doha. And now the Saebyeolbe comes out. Dallas trying to counter-engage this one though, but Trill pinned up against the wall. Super's still alive. Super just absolutely working him into neutral.
And Doha was so late with the Blizzard. If he had used it potentially when Super got the Nana Boost, they could have held the choke. But now Shock have pounded their way through the door, and it looks like the resistance is crumbling.
Decay, he tries so hard with the Death Blossom, but he doesn't get the value he was looking for. He was all ate up by the Defense Matrix, and the San Francisco Shock are going to get a respectable cap to the full distance of Havana.
It looked so good for the Fuel towards the end in terms of the ults they had available, the positioning that they had, the choke point that they were defending. And unfortunately, they just fell down there to the Brigitte and the Nana Boost coming out from the support duo of the San Francisco Shock. They allowed Super in, he got way too much value before he could be stopped.
The trouble with the San Francisco Shock, they are so good at just taking the tempo and using it against some of these teams.
Yep. Fastest paced team in the league normally.
Yeah. And it makes it fun to watch, but not for this crowd. They definitely trying their hardest, though. The Dallas Fuel are looking for any sort of in into this game, and the matches have been close. The maps have been close, I should say.
Yeah, they're definitely not down and out. These are new players for the Dallas Fuel, hungry players. Even Trill, who hasn't seen much game time, re-energized by the addition of these other players into the Dallas Fuel. It feels like a new mentality for them moving forwards.
And these are the fans that we talk so highly of. We love to see it. But Trill has definitely been stepping up, and as you said, you know, re-energized by the introduction of a lot of these players. It can often be like that. It can feel like an entirely new team sometimes.
And that's exactly what the Dallas Fuel needed after 2018 and 2019. 2020 is a brand new year, and by all accounts, they're looking to make it that way. A fresh start, and Dallas Fuel still have a lot of opportunities here. Striker on the Widowmaker.
Dallas are moving straight out the gate, trying to see if they can pin anybody against these ice walls. Immortality Field used very early here. Crypto immediately gets taken down. Decay is just waiting for an opportunity, but Striker is holding the flank right now. He's off angles looking for opportunities.
And I gotta say, I love the Widowmaker pick because the Dallas Fuel are not running the Diva. Diva with her new boosters is a great counter to long-range hit scan, like the Widowmaker, but Trill, Gamsu, neither of these players are known for playing it. So you know that the Dallas Fuel are gonna be stuck playing Reinhardt Orisa.
Look at the switch they've made though. Decay moves over to the Tracer. He's instantly on the flank, trying to deal and hunt down Striker on the Widowmaker.
That's the move you've got to make if you're Dallas. You can't adapt with your tanks, you've got to do it with your DPS.
Another sleep onto Trill this time. Architect has been so crucial. The Earth Shatter by Super laid down with the Nano Boost, and it's so much damage. Not much else can be done about it. Super falling very low, but luckily his team is there to support him. The Dallas Fuel have to rethink how they're going to be pushing this one in as the San Francisco Shock start to get even more ultimates online.
I feel like they've got to push out this left-hand side in order to give Decay a bit more space to be able to get onto Striker. Unless Decay can get something done against Striker, this is so difficult to win.
We'll see now the Blizzard comes out, and it's going to be catching a player or two. Gamsu is going to be taken out. Fortify, unfortunately, not saving him. Dallas again. They've lost too many players. Have to go back to the drawing board. Have to see how do we want to approach this, because something's got to change right now. They can't contest Striker when he's playing these long sightlines.
Yeah, you would love to be able to see a Diva come out here for the Dallas Fuel. But Gamsu and Trill not known for it. I like this though, aggressive straight out the bat.
The wall hacks are on. Striker looking for the shot, unable to find it. Dallas are finding opening picks, and now Decay moves onto the back line. Going to be harassing Striker a little bit here, creating an opening for the Dallas, seeing if they can win this one out. Bob ends up using his sound barrier, doesn't catch too many players, but keeps them in the fight. Trill now going to be starting to try and get a little bit of progress with this cart, but it's so hard to push in with these long sightlines.
I just want to say as well, Architect and Moth both went back to peel for Striker, and Architect actually managed to kill Decay. This guy's having such a good first game on Ana in 2020.
Trill needs to get something huge right now out of this Earth Shatter. Gamsu lays down the supercharger. The Earth Shatter connects onto Troy, but they don't have enough damage to take him out. Decay forced to recall back. The peel is unreal. Oh, but the stick! The 1v1 Decay comes out on top.
He's such an excellent Tracer player. Does go down to Rascal in the end, but he's opened up a bit of an avenue for the Dallas Fuel.
Now Crimzo needs to get some value in this amplification matrix. Big Bionade from Architect again is going to be stopping the Dallas Fuel from really pushing too much further, but they have the Immortality Field, they have the cooldowns, they have the ultimate. They need to make something work of it, and it goes down, laying it down, the Ice Wall, but they immediately counteract. Sound barrier comes out from Dallas, trying to bring down Super so low. The heal's almost too much, but eventually the burst damage is enough to bring him down. There's a behemoth effort. The blizzard from the San Francisco Shock doesn't connect onto anybody. Dallas Fuel able to just speed boost out of it and disengage. Decay now switching over to the Widowmaker, searching for these picks. He needs to make it happen.
And this is a good way just to push out Striker as well. They got the kill on him there, but basically Striker just has to take less obvious angles. He can't be as bold with Decay there, because he has to be worried at all times where Decay is. It's a good way of getting in the head of the enemy Widowmaker without actually putting direct pressure onto them. And now Striker makes a swap over to Tracer. They might be looking to recontest here and clutch before even point A is capped.
Do or die time now for the Dallas Fuel. Overtime is upon us. They have to make something happen. They have to cut this point to stay in this series. Striker brings down Decay, but Gamsu trades it out onto Rascal. Oh, Trill lays it down. But is it going to be enough? Super immediately answers back. Architect was there, ready and waiting for the peel. Only a few more players remaining. They're jumping onto the point, and now Super, he's got the nano boost, he's got the damage, and he's got enough to really just take out the stragglers on the point. And the Dallas Fuel, unfortunately, were not enough to bring down the San Francisco Shock as they clinch out the series.